Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for my Pisces people. Now, know that energy is fluid, so roles may be reversed. You may have to flip it, switch it, interpret the message as it best resonates for you is what I'm trying to get at. Also know, because energy is fluid, that this might be something that did happen, is about to happen, or will happen. And if it's something that already happened, it's just for you maybe to revisit it, to look at it, because whatever it is may be influencing what's happening in the present moment or what's going to happen. It's, again, valid information. Now, anything that you need to know about this channel, such as how to win a free reading or my giveaways or anything related to the channel, you can find in the description box below. Now, if you like this message, give me a like, comment the word healer in the in your comment bar, and then subscribe to the channel, and you can win a free psychic reading. Once a week, I'm going to pull a name out of everybody that I see that does this, and once we're going to do a free reading on air and hopefully build this community. Now, I always look at the soul wounds first. I look at the karmic blocks, the karmic themes, karmic contracts, all that good stuff. That's what I look at first. And I look at that first because it's easier to see intention, because a lot of times we may see like a lot of things that we don't like, again, or we might not like a specific outcome, but we want to know the underlying energy, the spiritual energy. Everything happens in a spiritual realm long before it happens in the physical realm, where spiritual beings having human experiences, and how we learn the human experience is psychologically. And that's through going through our experiences. But unfortunately, when we go through experiences that come out undesirable, like if we get into a relationship where we think that this is going to be the love of our life and they wind up hurting us, we kind of walk away with a wound, a scar. So we'll want to always look to see whether there's a wound or a scar, because that is going to lead us to being able to shadow heal. Again, healing the traumas that are subconscious. We make them first conscious. We're not aware of them first. Again, we have to make ourselves aware of them first. We're not aware of them, and that's why they become part of our subconscious mind, which is becomes part of our ego, which actually comes out within our behaviorisms and habits. And so, and that is the energy, by the way, that blocks us from manifesting. So we sabotage ourselves because of that energy. We are not as present because of that energy. And so when you're not as present, you're not as conscious. And if you're not conscious, again, because you don't see certain things, or you're coming from a very limited perception and it's an imbalanced perception, well, then you can see why you'd manifest what you manifest. So as I said, I look at that first, and then we go into the reading, and I use a bunch of different cards, but I always start off using my deck first, the Psychic Soul Healer deck. Okay, first card out is opinionated. I don't read my deck upside down. So opinionated. So usually we tend to be opinionated because we inherited that trait from our parents. We can be opinionated on, mainly I'm feeling like ourselves, Pisces, like that. Again, opinionated on how you feel about yourself, how you feel about like your connection. For some, again, general message, how you feel about your life. Well, that's why I said, I keep saying like, is it relationship? And I was like, yeah, a little bit relationship. And then it was like job. And it was like, yeah, a little bit job. And then it was like, well, straight across the board. And that's not uncommon, because again, if we again have a perception that something is better than what is happening, then we're obviously going to perceive, again, what we perceive as better to be right, instead of realizing that outside betters are not our own better, that this person hasn't created themselves 100%. You might not have created yourself if this is, again, about you, Pisces, or you may be connected to someone that is. Some of you, I feel like, grew up in environments that were very opinionated on how you should be, what you should, again, do to be successful. And intention was good, but again, the execution is bad. What manifests out of it is bad. It comes rigidness, is what I'm feeling. And then self-denying. And that's again, don't read my deck backwards. So self-denying. And that's exactly what I was saying. If you're opinionated, you're cutting yourself off. And you're cutting yourself off to opportunities, and opportunities to everything from healing to experiencing like a new adventure, to experiencing something about yourself, to experiencing a passion that's awaiting you, to experience a gift that is inside of you that you don't know because you're opinionated of how you should be instead of just being. If that makes sense. This is the energy, the spiritual energy right now. And understand we could be opinionated after being in a lot of bad relationships. Just have that sense of, or be opinionated about the person that we're with. Because if we need healing, then we begin to project that stuff that we need healing on onto that person. So then we feel that they're opinionated, or we again have drawn to us a person that's like a magnet to us that has our energy, right? Because like goes to like, that is opinionated. And that is again going to self-deny. And sometimes people have opinions about staying in bad relationships. I know that that's random and came out of nowhere, but I'm feeling it for somebody out there that again, that some people feel like they need to stay in bad relationships and self-deny because their opinion of being a good person and a bad person means staying in a marriage or a relationship because there's a child involved, or staying in a business that they're not really happy in, or staying in a connection at a business with a partner, even though you don't get along with them. It's again, you wind up self-denying, and then, that energy bleeds into other things. And I'm feeling like that's why this is coming out right now. We'll card down. Hold on a second. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. So 2 cards down. I never feel like it's a mistake. And okay, light and invincibility. So I feel like, again, like remember when I just said, I feel like this person is coming to a realization of it. Well, again, light is that. Light is love, right? Light is love. Light is happiness. Light is what we all want. We can feel when we're in a place of self-denying, and we can feel when we're a place of light and love. Light, and when we're, again, happy, we're light. When we're in God, we're light. And again, when we're co-creating with, again, God, the universe, people, again, through the things that we love and doing, becoming what we love, we feel light. And then we feel invincible, right? The invincibility. It's again, we have more power because it's again, light energy makes us have more energy. And so there's a sense of realizing this. So again, Pisces, maybe you've been in a very stagnant relationship for a long time. I feel like, again, you have been. I don't mean maybe, I mean you have been. Some of you have been, and some of you finally got out of it. But just because you got out of it doesn't mean that energy is off of you. That's why we could say you have, or you're still in, you still act as if you're still in it, even when you're not, because you have to heal the core root of this, of why you're opinionated. And again, and why you're opinionated that you need to be in self-denying. Again, in order to see yourself as good by other people, but it's not making you feel good, it's making you feel bad. But you again want to feel good because again, you want to have a lot of energy, a lot of like power within your work, within your family, within whatever. I mean, there's other people in your family. that again would need you. So there's a sense of like realizing that you've been living out of balance. Now, I don't know what the spiritual wounds are. We're going to look. And I don't know if this is you, Pisces, or the person that you're connected to. But that's the spiritual energy. Okay, martyr. It's again self-denying. Look, self-denying and martyr. But understand, when a person is acting like a martyr, it's usually because they don't have an identity. If again, once we have an identity, that's again what we love and how we present ourselves or how we want to be presented. If we're not doing that, then what happens is we're again becoming like, well, my identity is to become the martyr, to sacrifice myself, my happiness, because again, I have opinions about how, or I care about other people's opinions. Again, everyone is opinionated about what it is to stay together if you have a family, or to stay in a connection, or stay in something that is again imbalanced. And why this is hard to tell too, if a person's in a relationship, is it's a loveless connection because they're self-denying. So it's again, I feel like there's someone there, but it's like they're there and your person may be there, Pisces, but that your person isn't checked in to them. Or this could be you, that you, Pisces, are with someone and you're there, but you're not really there. And it's because there's a sense of not really wanting to be there, feeling like you need to be there, so self-denying yourself, being the martyr. Again, seeing yourself as invincible to like what's going on again, and wanting to be perceived as being good. So again, we can see how that spiritual energy is just right in there with the wound. So this person has a lot of shame. This could be you, Pisces, that you have a lot of shame, and you could have again came into this relationship again and have that, or again grown up with that wound, and understand it could be from something as stupid as when you were a kid, like wetting the bed and being shamed over that and not healed. Again, when we're doing shadow work, understand you don't know, we're looking at the wounds, and we're looking at the emotional, we're looking at the wounds and the emotional stuff. We're looking at the stuff that is stagnant, the stuff that is again emotional but painful a lot of times. And so with this, we can see it right in here where there's self-denying, there's martyr, there's again, I want to be seen as a good person, I want to be seen. So we see how how again shame would be that karmic theme that this person has incarnated with. And again, could have been incarnated in the family, again, did something as simple as that at 8. We don't, until we integrate the shadow aspects of self, they don't heal. So we don't really know where that shame came from, but we can see what's manifested out from it and what other people see. And what other people see is what the ego believes that it is, but that's not what it is. There's a wound there, and the wound is shame. And the person feels lost because it's again, when you take that away, when you take away like becoming the martyr, because this is who this person has made their identity to be, to self-sacrifice themselves, and you take that away, then they say, well, then who is my identity? Because I stay in this bad connection, or I stay in this environment that I'm not growing in. So I feel lost because it's like, it's not really, I believe that my ego was who I was. And that seems to be the theme here. So let's see the hidden truth between you and this person. Let's see what that is between you and your person. Just being near you is intoxicating. So I would say that this, again, your hope, inspiration, that it's, again, you give a person a lot of energy just by your being. Could be a soulmate, twin flame relationship. Again, that a lot of times is what pulls us out of an energy of self-denying, because what happens is we don't look at, again, the shame. Again, our ego takes control and says, why am I living miserably? Why am I self-denying? I don't want to self-deny. I want to be around this person. This person makes me feel better. Again, looking for outside things, which is got to be careful, because again, this person is not healed. They're lost. Again, we just explained why. So we would see why that would be intoxicating, because if your energy is anything but this, because this energy is horrible and stagnant. Because they've been self-denying. They've been like in a desert, it feels like. Imagine being in a desert with no water and then getting out and seeing a dirty puddle. You drink it because you were like, I'm dying. I'm going to die. It's like if it came down to dying and drinking the dirty puddle water, you would drink the dirty puddle water. And I'm not saying that you're dirty puddle water, but in this person's eyes, because they were attracted to before, there's a soul connection. It's again, and so they're fixated on it because of where they are. I wish I had treated you better. That's another reason why, if they're self-denying themselves. So I'm actually kind of feeling like you're connected to someone, Pisces, that chose the wrong person. Because why else would they be self-denying and being the martyr? They're being the martyr and they feel lost because they don't, that this isn't the life that they want to live. They don't feel connected to that life. And it's, again, so this is a person that I feel probably built up their business really well, like created themselves really well. And so they were living mainly from their ego. They were living from a place of, again, creating themselves from outside by acquiring things and again, making people think that they were a certain way, not really deep relationships, but surface relationships. And throughout buying things and acquiring things and in that way. And so when this is a soulmate twin flame relationship, the relationship is actually very deep and something that the person's never experienced, but I feel like you're in this person's life to get them out of this energy, because their way is almost to forfeit their life. And it's to forfeit their life because they don't know who they are. And that's dangerous, because when we don't know who we are, then our outside influences have a lot of control over us. And that's what this person is realizing. They want to get back to a place of light. We're all born from a place of light. And the person's trying to think about, when did I get this way? When it's, again, it's led them into a place of, their darkness has led them into a place of self-exploration, which, by the way, is something that the ego never wants to do. So your person's in healing, and as they're healing, they're realizing that they didn't treat you well either. I wish I would have treated you better. So many things remind me of you, and that also happens when it's a soulmate twin flame relationship, and then the person feels guilty. They feel guilty, but they're subconsciously, they're seeing you through everything and everyone. And the reason why soulmate twin flame, the bond is, it's a divine union. So we can't break that bond that easily. It's because, again, divine union has brought you two together for a reason, and that reason is to heal, to pull out all your gunk, all your wounds. It's, again, because you're going to stick around long enough because you're crazy about the person. You love the person. So in that's what happens. It's like you're like, oh, I'm going to stay. And then I love you. See, it's like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a soulmate twin flame relationship, because that's cards are coming out and saying, but let's see what the lessons are between you two Pisces. Let's see what the lessons are between you two Pisces. Let's see what the lessons are. look at the lessons. Okay, mirrors. Our inner guidance is clear, but our ego is resisting it. So it's again, you've been brought into this person's world to again be their mirror, and to be their soulmate again. And that's person is resisting it because there's a lot of healing, but it looks like even though they're resisting it, you say how? Well, if they're self-denying the relationship because they know on some level the relationship is divine. Because I feel like this person would want to do what's easiest for them, but they have no control. So they're resisting it, but I don't believe that they're going to be able to stay resisted in it, because it's again, it's a divine union, and a divine union is all about healing, transformation, self-transformation. And a lot of times those two people help do it, then they're opposite of each other. They have different skills, they have different gifts. So they have to learn balance because they don't think the same way. They don't do things the same way. So they have to learn how to compromise without getting triggered. They have to learn the spiritual traits of a higher consciousness. A Christ consciousness really is what I call it, but it's again any higher state of consciousness to open you up. And then it's mirrors. I wish you could see that we are mirroring each other right now, literally. It's like, come on. They all aren't mirrors either. It's like you're getting, oh, like this is like, you're making me look at myself. You're making me look at myself. You're making me look at myself. And that is again triggering for the person. And that's why it says again, after a while, the person has to resist it. It hurts. Let's see what else. Okay, mission. We are alchemists. We transform fear into love and shadow into light, which is what I was saying. That these wounds are being pulled out at this time for you and this person, but mainly your person, because it's again, we have to do something with the pain. You can't just leave stagnant energy inside the body. It's again, so we go through experiences that create pain. This person has never looked at them. Instead, what they did was they bought things. They ran around in relationships. They let their ego dictate their life. They created their life through outside resources. So it was like creating things on a house of cards. It fell apart. It's again, but that person would have never looked at it, but they fell in love. And it came into this, mirrors. But right now you two can't be together because they're self-denying. They're self-denying. They're being a martyr right now. And again, and mainly that's also feeding their ego because again of how they're gonna look, but understand they feel lost. So, but they know again that it's a divine union. They don't know, I don't think, that they're as evolved to realize that we transform our wounds into gifts. Again, that's what alchemy is. You're transmuting that energy. So you have come into this person's life to be able to do that, to help them do that, and for them to do it for you too. But there's a sense that you're at a higher consciousness, which just means that you again are realize how things work on a spiritual level and don't hate yourself as much as this person does, because this person is lost. They don't know who they are, and because they don't like who they are, they again had to like live from their ego, and again wanted to kind of like create the environment that they wanted everyone to perceive them in. And again, and not just their environment, but their identity, which you don't do that. And you don't create yourself from the outside in. You create yourself from the inside out. So the connection, we come from different worlds. Our perspectives can clash. Sometimes can we work this out? So it's again, this is what I'm saying with the soulmate twin flame relationship, that you have two different people that think differently. You have one person that thinks very logical. You have one person that thinks very emotionally. Again, one person's spiritual, one person's more of the physical, logical, linear world. And so the world is that. And I also believe that some of you guys, again, Pisces, come from different cultures. You know, this is a general reading. So we know that some people are going to come from different cultures. So they don't practice the same religions. They don't eat the same foods. They don't do the same things. But love transforms and transcends. Really, it's again, that's the whole miracle of a soulmate twin flame relationship. It transcends all the limitations, and there is no limitation. The separation of self, but it's again, it's also a separation from divine love, and you're getting a person that is a soulmate twin flame because not because they like you all the time. If anything, a lot of times they want to kill you. We trigger each other, but because we have unconditional love for each other. And what we're learning is to have that for ourselves, to learn to do that. And a lot of times our twin helps us do that. Again, this flipped out. My childhood was, and I think that this is your trauma bond, and I'm going to end it off on this one, which is my childhood was difficult and is still affects me. I was let down by the people I loved and trusted. So again, why this person is able to be the martyr is also because of abandonment. They're able to deny. It makes them feel as if, again, the people that are in their life, even though they're not really happy with those people and they've grown out of those people, they're not stepping into who they need to be. And I believe you're the catalyst for that, Pisces, but they're not doing it right now. And the reason why is they're in a state of healing. It's again, it says it all over this. Again, mirrors, pulling it out, like the realization that they care about you and love you, that alone is transcending. Never mind that they're actually thinking about you, because they're again saying we come from different places, but I love you. And what they're going to realize is that that the love transcends everything. And again, that person is coming into your life, Pisces, or you're going into their life because, again, to heal and to transcend that. And the mirrors are right now, you guys are in separation because there's a lot of healing that's going on. And though I feel like you're the positive thing, again, which is love, there's also pain there, because it's again, you're helping pulling out all their shit. Again, right here, the alchemist. And again, but this person can forget about you. Again, unconditional love, we don't. It transcends time and space, but it's again, spirit and consciousness. You're in that person. So everything's reminding this person of you. And so it's again, making them be like, I should have treated this person better, but they were living in their ego, and they were living in their ego because it's again, afraid of abandonment and wanting things to look a certain way, all because again, people are opinionated. I feel like they grew up in that environment. So again, they tend to look at life through that perspective. And it's again, they at least look good if they're a martyr and they're self-denying. They look better to everyone else, which is what they care about for so long, which is not healthy. But they're realizing it because now they're lost. So let's see what else. Just again, I said I was going to close it out, but I just want to see one last one. Not this deck. I used this deck to see what if they have any spiritual messages for you, Pisces, because after listening to this, it's like, oh great, they're in a self-healing. I triggered the shit out of them. It's again, they love me, but it's again, that's it. There's nothing for me here. This is just about this person that I'm connected to, or it could be you, and you're like, oh, but this is what it is. Do you have guidance for me about how to handle this situation, or does this person have a message for me? And this deck will either give us a message from your person, or again, a sign from the universe of what you should do in this situation. Now, if you get a message from your soulmate twin flame, the universe is saying, I want you to adhere to their message for you. If you don't, and you get divine information. Again, this person is still in a place of self-healing, and that's why you're not getting it from them. They're not thinking about you as much as, like, from an emotional standpoint. They're looking at you more from a logical standpoint, like how do you fit into their story, like what wounds, like how you trigger them, but how you also like are important to them and they love you, and the paradox about that. And again, having to look at their childhood now, because again, it brought up trust issues. Their world of who they thought is crumbling down. So you are not in the forefront of their mind. So do not be upset if no messages about them from them come out for you. Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. So this person again has this unconditional love for you. It's again, and there's a sense of like, I know that you're supposed to be in my life, but all this is happening right now. So if you don't feel that they're around, my suggestion to you, Pisces, is again, chill, chill. The person again in divine timing. Soulmate, twin flame relationship, we're not in charge of the timing, but it will be the correct timing. Now, karmically, what you do when that timing arrives, that's a different reading. But right now, just be easy because this person is in their self-transformation, or you're in your self-transformation and you just don't worry about your connection, because again, their connection is, again, goes both ways this way. That's what soulmate twin flame relationship is. The bond isn't broken. Both parties feel the same exact way about each other. Okay, that's it. Again, if you like this, don't forget to give me a like, comment the word healer in the comment bar, subscribe to my channel. You can win a free psychic reading. Let me know also what you feel about the reading. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.